based on the wave theory. Today we will start the next topic based on the wave theory, that is known as refraction. So we have to understand how can we explain the refraction based on the wave theory. Up to now you have only studied about the refraction based on the straight line geometry. Okay, suppose this is a wave and it is traveling from rarer medium to the denser medium, and if I will draw a normal, then this will bend towards the normal. This you have studied about the refraction. Now we have to understand how can we explain the phenomena of refraction based on the wave theory. And as I told you, in the wave theory we will talk about wavefront, wavelets, source of disturbance, and source of disturbance would travel from a point in the form of secondary wavelets. This we have studied. So using that concept we would understand the phenomena of refraction. So suppose students, this XY is an interface which is separating the two mediums. This is suppose rarer medium and this is denser medium. In refraction we study the change in the path of light when light travels from one medium to the another medium. So here also XY is an interface which is separating the two medias, rarer medium and denser medium. Now we have to understand, suppose this is an incident wavefront. This is X. AB is an incident wavefront. And you know, on the wavefront, the rays of light are perpendicular to the wavefront. Or you can say direction of incident rays is perpendicular to the wavefront. So I have marked 3 rays of light, 1, 2 and 3. These are the incident rays of light which are normal to the incident wavefront. You can see here the ray is making an angle of 90 degree, here also it is making an angle of 90 degree, here also it is making an angle of 90 degree. And yesterday I have told you where is the angle of incidence. Angle of incidence, students, would be between the two surfaces. This is one surface, interface XY, and AB is another surface. I have told you interface wavefront is itself is a surface. आपको पता है, suppose this is a source of disturbance. From here wavefront would travel like this. This is primary wavefront. On this secondary wavelets would travel, and if I draw a common tangent to these secondary wavelets, it would become a secondary wavefront. So ये secondary wavefront is in itself is a surface. ये खुद में एक surface है. So the angle between these two surfaces is known as angle of incidence. This much we have studied in the last lecture. And in the last lecture we have also studied that according to the Huygens, every point on the wavefront would act as a source of new disturbance. So point B would be a point of source of disturbance on this wavefront. This point, suppose this is D. D is also a source of disturbance on this incident wavefront, and this point is also source of disturbance on this wavefront AB. And from these source of disturbance, wavelets, secondary wavelets would travel. Suppose secondary wavelets are traveling with speed c1, and in time t, these had traveled this much of distance. So I will take c1 into t as radius, and I will consider b as the center. So making b as the center and taking this much distance as the radius, I will draw an arc, or you can say secondary wavelets would travel like this, and this much of distance they would travel in time t, and they will strike the interface at this, and we will mark this point as A dash. This I have told you in the last class. So secondary wavelets from point B would travel to point A dash, and let us join this. So students, A dash B distance is equal to C1 into T. Now in the same way, disturbance from A would also travel like this, or you can say now the rays will travel from rarer medium to the denser medium. So this is the normal and this will bend towards the normal, and disturbance would travel, secondary wavelets would travel like this. And this disturbance or secondary wavelets from this point will travel and cover this much of distance. You can see here this distance is less distance because speed of light आपको पता है change हो गई है because this is the medium, and this mark this point as B dash. You can see here this distance AB dash is equal to C2 into T. What is C2? C2 is the speed of light in this medium, and you are well aware that whenever the light rays travel in a medium, speed is decreased. Speed is decreased, आपको पता है speed decrease हो गई है, time same है, तो ये distance क्या होगा? कम होगा. And if I will join, this is the tangent, this is the tangent, and if I join these two tangents, then it would become a secondary wavefront. आपको पता है जब आप tangents पे, जब आप secondary wavelets से एक common tangent draw कर देते हो, that is known as secondary wavefront. तो ये भी क्या है? Secondary wavefront है. Here this is secondary wavefront. जो रेज होंगी वो कुछ इस तरीके से ट्रैवल करेंगी, this, this and this, and they would propagate like this. This is 1 dash, this is 2 dash, and this is 3 dash. So you can see there is bending in the light rays when they travels from rarer medium to the denser medium. Now students, next point is where is angle of refraction? And this is angle of incidence. Where is angle of refraction? Angle of refraction is again between the interface, this surface, and the secondary wavefront A dash B dash. That means this is the angle of refraction R. Now students, you know we have to prove the laws of refraction based on the wave theory. आपको याद है वहां पे हम लॉज ऑफ रिफ्लेक्शन और रिफ्रैक्शन को भी क्या करते थे? प्रूव करते थे, जैसे हमने रिफ्लेक्शन में किया था. हियर इन रिफ्रैक्शन वी विल प्रूव द लॉज ऑफ रिफ्रैक्शन एज वेल. एंड व्हाट आर द लॉज ऑफ रिफ्रैक्शन? फर्स्ट लॉ इज सेम, इंसिडेंट रे, नॉर्मल एंड रिफ्रैक्टेड रे ऑल लाई इन द सेम प्लेन. एंड व्हाट इज second law of refraction? Second law of refraction is Snell's law. That means sin of I over sin of R is equal to the refractive index. This is Snell's law. This we have to prove. अब देखो, let us take two triangles. I कैसे find out करेंगे? We will take the triangle A B A dash. So in triangle A B A dash, A B A dash के अंदर what is sin of I? Sin of I would be perpendicular over hypotenuse. What is perpendicular? AB. Where is hypotenuse? A dash. Okay, done. This is first equation. Now in triangle, which triangle? In triangle A dash B dash, A dash B dash, sin of R. Where is sin of R? Sin of R is again perpendicular over hypotenuse. Perpendicular over hypotenuse again आपके पास क्या है? This is base, this is perpendicular. Perpendicular is your A B dash over hypotenuse. Hypotenuse is again A dash, A dash. Now we have to take the ratio of sin of I over sin of R. Sin of I, if we find out the value of sin of I over sin of R, it would be sin of I is AB over A dash multiplied by A dash over AB dash. ये cancel out हो गया and we will left with Sine of I over sine of R is equal to AB over AB dash. What is AB? What is AB? AB नहीं, AB dash. AB dash is sine of I, perpendicular. Perpendicular is A dash B. Okay. What is A dash B? A dash B is this much, and A dash B is C1 into T. C1 into T. Where is sine of R? ये तो हमने कर ही लिया है, and we are left with AB dash. AB dash. AB dash is equal to C2 into T. C2 into T. T से T cancel हो गया है, and we are left with C1 over C2. C1 is speed of light in rarer medium. C2 is speed of light in denser medium, and we can replace this by mu. Refractive index, that means mu. You know that refractive index can also be defined as speed of light in air vacuum to the speed of light in medium. ऐसे लिखते थे ना हम लोग, speed of light in air vacuum to the speed of light in medium. So this is the same, speed of light in rarer medium to the speed of light in denser medium. So this is the second law of refraction. So this is all about the refraction. Now we will understand the principle of superposition of two waves. Now students, superposition principle. This we have covered in your class 11th also in waves and oscillation. Superimpose, that means fall of one wave on the another wave, then a resultant wave is formed. That principle is known as superposition principle. What superposition principle states? According to the superposition principle, when two or more waves, as I have told you, we are talking here about the two or more wave motions. That means two or more waves traveling through the medium, traveling in a medium, superimpose one another. That means suppose this is one wave, this is another wave falling on the one wave falling on the other. This is known as superposition or superimposition. When one or more wave motion traveling through a medium superimpose one another, एक दूसरे के ऊपर जब fall करती है, a new wave is formed. इन दोनों के superimpose करने से a new wave is formed, and that wave is known as resultant wave. तो क्या बोल रहा है? A new wave is formed in which resultant displacement, जो इन दोनों की displacement से जो new wave form होगी इन दोनों wave motion से, और उसका जो displacement होगा that is known as resultant displacement, and जो wave form होगी that wave is known as resultant wave. Resultant displacement at any instant, जो resultant displacement होगा इस wave का, it is equal to the, ये equal होगा किसके? Vector sum of displacement due to individual waves. Suppose आपके पास 1, 2, 3, 4 up to n waves है, और उन waves का जो displacement है, फर्स्ट वेव का y1, सेकंड वेव का y2, थर्ड वेव का y3, एंड ऐसे ही जो nth वेव है उसका डिस्प्लेसमेंट इज yn. तो इन वेव्स के सुपर इम्पोजिशन से जो रिजल्टेंट वेव बनेगी उसका जो रिजल्टेंट डिस्प्लेसमेंट होगा दैट वुड बी इक्वल टू द वेक्टर सम. आप देख सकते हो हियर दिस इज अ वेक्टर, दिस डिस्प्लेसमेंट इज अ वेक्टर क्वांटिटी. सो इन सब इंडिविजुअल वेव्स के डिस्प्लेसमेंट के वेक्टर सम के इक्वल होगा रिजल्टेंट वेव का डिस्प्लेसमेंट. अब देखते हैं, सपोज दिस इज अ वेव, this is the pattern of a wave. This is a wave. One wave, its displacement is suppose y1. Now superimpose another wave. This is another wave which is superimposed on this wave. So it would travel like this. Like this. This is another wave. ठीक है? Suppose its displacement is y2, and by the superimposition of these two waves, a resultant wave is formed. So suppose here you can see that crust of one wave is falling on the crust of another wave. जो तो थर्ड जो रिजल्टेंट वेव होगी उसका जो एम्पलीट्यूड होगा वो होगा इन दोनों के, या इसकी जो डिस्प्लेसमेंट बोलो, इसकी जो डिस्प्लेसमेंट होगी रिजल्टेंट वेव की, उसका डिस्प्लेसमेंट इक्वल होगा इन दोनों के डिस्प्लेसमेंट के इंडिविजुअल डिस्प्लेसमेंट के सम के इक्वल. हियर इट वुड लाइक दिस. So this would be your resultant wave. So when crust of one wave falls on the crust of another wave, displacement of the resultant wave would be equal to the sum of individual displacements. Or we can understand जो intensity होगी of the resultant wave, intensity of the resultant wave is directly proportional to the amplitude square. एम्पलीट्यूड का जो स्क्वायर होगा, एम्पलीट्यूड के स्क्वायर के डायरेक्टली प्रोपोर्शनल होगी रिजल्टेंट वेव की इंटेंसिटी की, उसकी स्ट्रेंथ कितनी होगी. हियर एम्पलीट्यूड इज मार्क्ड बाय डिस्प्लेसमेंट, सो इंटेंसिटी would be directly proportional to y square, and here the displacement y is equal to the intensity is directly proportional to the y is equal to the y1 plus y2 ka whole square. And students, this is the case of constructive superposition. Constructive and destructive I have already told you in the class 11, and in the coming topics we will understand the constructive and destructive interference in the another topic in a broad way. So constructive से आप ये समझ सकते हो कि where amplitude of the resultant wave is increasing, so that superposition is known as constructive superposition. This superposition is known as constructive superposition. Now we will see the another case where crust of one wave falls on the trough of another wave. So what will happen with the resultant amplitude or resultant displacement? Suppose this is the pattern of a wave, and one wave is traveling like this. You know this is the pattern of a wave, and here this is one wave whose displacement or amplitude is y1. Another wave is traveling in the same medium like this. Here you can see crust of this wave is falling on the trough of another wave. Crust, trough, crust, trough, crust, trough, and this is your resultant wave. Resultant wave would be along this line. So here the resultant displacement is equal to the y1 minus y2. यही होगा जो resultant displacement होगी, that would be the difference of individual waves displacement. जो individual waves है उनका displacement होगा, उन दोनों का जो displacement है उसके difference के equal होगी आपका resultant wave का displacement. और suppose ये y1 और y2 अगर दोनों का magnitude अगर equal है तो यहाँ से it would become 0, और जो amplitude भी क्या होगा यहाँ से 0 होगा, और intensity भी क्या होगी 0. और ये आपको जो स्क्रीन है वो कैसा अपीयर होगा, डार्क अपीयर होगा. एंड सच टाइप ऑफ सुपरपोजिशन इज नोन एज डिस्ट्रक्टिव सुपरपोजिशन. डिस्ट्रक्टिव सुपरपोजिशन where crust of one wave falls on the trough of another wave, then the superposition obtained is known as destructive superposition. And when the crust of one wave falls on the crust of another wave, then the resultant wave ka amplitude would be equal to the vector sum of their individual displacement, and the superposition would be constructive superposition. अब students, सुपरपोजिशन का जो प्रिंसिपल है, फिनोमिना है, वो तभी पॉसिबल है इफ द सोर्सेस, जो ये दो वेव्स आ रही हैं, इफ दीज waves have some properties and the main property is coherent sources या coherent property in waves के पास अगर होगी तभी सुपरपोजिशन का फिनोमिना, इंटरफेरेंस का फिनोमिना इज possible. So in the next lecture we will understand about the coherent sources. What are the coherent sources? What are the properties of two coherent sources? कैसे हम दो sources को, दो waves को coherent बोल सकते हैं, क्या properties होनी चाहिए, क्या condition होनी चाहिए, तभी हम दो waves को coherent बोल सकते हैं. So in the next video we will cover that topic. Thank you.